I don't know what to say other than very disappointed that the Obama Justice Department has not gone after these guys, and there's still time to do it. I hope they do.
When you see the issue about the birther, let's not get into the detail, but when you see the Donald Trump birther issue dominating the news agenda, and there's a real prospect of perhaps Donald Trump running for president, what was your reaction to that?
I hope in this coming election year that people remember that not just Donald Trump, but a majority of the people who called themselves Republicans said that they didn't believe or they weren't sure that President Obama was an American. And they were putting him through this whole thing to where he finally had to go through all this. And the week before, he's trying to stop the #1 criminal that's loose in the world. He's got to deal with Donald Trump and getting a birth certificate out of Hawaii while this is going on. And in the month before that, the Republican Party is trying to shut down the federal government. Just think about that. If they succeeded, the Republicans, they were trying to shut down the federal government while President Obama was trying to get Osama bin Laden. I hope that people do not forget that next year.
Let me ask you about, let me move on to another of Donald Trump's claims, because I sort of agree with you about the birther issue, but when he was coming out with his stuff about China and OPEC and so on, I actually found myself nodding in agreement that America has been pretty weak in relation to OPEC and China, hasn't it?
Well, that's a much larger issue than the way that he was just kind of simplifying it. You know, I don't know how much of that you want to get into right now. I'll just say this, that coming from Flint, Michigan, where, you know, I'm from, and where we saw our factories being closed starting in the early 80s, thousands and thousands of people losing their jobs because General Motors. I remember the year I made my first film, at Roger Me, which is about General Motors. And that year that film came out, General Motors made a profit of almost $4 billion. But $4 billion wasn't enough. They wanted $5 billion the next year, and so they figured we can get that $5 billion, we can get that extra billion by closing down these factories in Flint and St. Louis and Indiana and elsewhere. And that's what they did. They threw thousands of people out of work so they could make more money shipping jobs overseas. They were allowed to do that. They were given tax breaks to do it.
In that case, Michael, I mean, that's where I found myself, as I say, nodding with Donald Trump. We're going to take another break now. When we come back, I want to talk about your next project, which cage you're going to rattle next, and also going to come up later in the show, Beyonce's new single, God Bless the USA, which is going to raise money for New York's firemen and their widows and families.